All right, welcome back to the episode of Beer, Bacon, and Bros. Tonight you got a special cast, just Keith and Chris. We're going to jump into our predictions for the Mountain West Conference for 2023. On less than 100 days away from college football.
I know, we're getting there, man.
We're like 96 or something now. So super excited to break down these conferences for y'all. If you haven't already checked out, we just did the Big 12 last week. Got a lot of views. Everybody's been loving it. So make sure you hit us in the comments as well. We'd love your feedback, love your predictions. And as always, make sure you like that video for us. Because we're popular. And if you're not a subscriber, completely free to you. Really helps our channel out. If you already are and come back for another video, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. And if you want to make sure that you catch all of our videos, just ding the little notification in the top right corner. We'll ping you every time we upload a new one.
There you go.
So
we upload almost every day. So
yeah, at this point we've been uploading pretty much a video every day for the last couple weeks.
Come back and see us.
And you don't have to watch all of them. Some you're gonna love, some you're gonna hate. Who knows?
Just let us know. Even if you hate it, let us know in the comments. We don't care.
Actually, yeah, we really don't.
Yeah, just let us know.
All right, Mountain West. A lot of popular names in the Mountain West. Fresno State, Boise State, Hawaii, Air Force,
Utah State.
Yeah, so plenty of these popular names. A little bit of a mixed bag conference, though. I feel like this is a great conference where you see a lot of people. It rotates. It's like the NFC East, right? It's going to be a different winner
almost every
year.
Yeah.
So this past season, Boise State walking away with it. So before I said that, so
last year, Utah State got it last year.
Yeah, sorry, Utah State got it last year. So
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago, but
not 2022. 2021, Utah State got it.
Yeah, actually, I want to say Fresno State might have won it last year.
I think Fresno did win.
Before I sound like an absolute idiot. Give me the 2022. I also have the odds here, so we'll be able to know. Yeah, it was Fresno State that won it. They beat Boise State 28-16. That's what I thought. So that's what I thought after those words came out of my mouth. So I got the odds for us here in 2023. These are from BetMGM. Boise State, the front runner.
It's hard to bet against Boise State, dude. They always seem to have a solid team.
Yeah.
Being that tiny school up in Boise, Idaho.
With that blue field.
That blue spud turf. I mean, yeah.
The killer of the birds. If you don't know that.
Yeah, they fly right into it.
Do a little more research.
Yeah.
So, Boise State. Then you got Fresno State, Air Force. Those are really the three heavy favorites.
Air Force was supposed to be a better team last year than they were.
Yeah.
Air Force was supposed to be really good last year. I mean, Fresno State's always a good team. Fresno State, San Diego State.
Yep.
Those two are usually always battling it out on their side. So
yeah, the San Diego State, they're actually the fourth best.
Yeah, so San Diego State. The last couple of years, they've had some really good teams. They got a lot of transfers. Last year from Hawaii.
Yep.
I think basically the entire Hawaii team transferred to San Diego State.
Between San Jose State and San Diego State, yeah, you got to feel like those two were the two that picked up the most Hawaii transfers.
They got everybody from Hawaii.
But speaking of Hawaii, not the worst odds this year. They're actually second worst.
Because New Mexico sucks. I mean, let's be real here.
Yeah.
I think Hawaii is put themselves in a position now with the new coach.
Yeah.
Coming back to the island, I think he'll be able to build that program up, make them not saying they've been a powerhouse by any stretch of the imagination, but they've been a decent team. I mean, they're usually always a bowl. They usually always go to a bowl game. They're winning 6-7 games a year.
Yeah, they're taking on the Hawaii Bowl.
Right. Yeah. So it's definitely I definitely think with the new coach they brought in, they put themselves in a position to get back to what they were a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe not Colt Brennan a couple of years ago, but maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
so
I think you'll see with Chang, the head coach, you'll see Hawaii get better every year now that they have their guy, right? They feel like they have their coach, someone that's passionate about the island, passionate about keeping the kids on the island that are there, and then bringing in the kids from California that they.
It's like South Carolina bringing in Beamer. Having someone passionate to be at your school.
Yeah.
They thought that your school was the dream job.
Yeah.
So
someone that's really excited to break in that new Hawaii stadium, not this fall, but the following fall as well, in 24. Yeah. So they have some momentum going about them, but I think it's really no surprise for me that Boise State and San Diego State Fresno State. Let me get those right. Boise State and Fresno State are the two favorites here.
Absolutely.
Obviously, the repeating champion game. Air Force in the mix here. They were a 10-win team last year. Obviously, continue to have opportunity.
I think Air Force is going to be one of the better academy schools. they're going to definitely have a better opportunity, especially because was Army last year they fell flat on their face.
Oh yeah, Army was a team that was supposed to be good, and
fell flat on their face. Yeah, like Marshall.
Yeah, like Marshall.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I just think it's hard to bet against those two. It's hard to bet against Fresno and Boise.
Yeah.
So and really, I think it's going to boil down to who does Air Force play? Do they play either one of those two?
Oh yeah, I mean they're in the same conference.
But but they're on opposite sides.
Well, no, they're in the same side with Boise State, so I know they're going to have to play Boise State. I would imagine they have to play both, maybe. No, just Boise State. They have Boise, they have San Diego State, San Jose State.
So I would imagine the winner of Air Force and Boise probably comes out of that side.
Yeah.
And then the winner of San Diego and San Diego and Fresno probably comes out the other side.
Yeah, that's also Thanksgiving weekend, that game between Boise State and Air Force. So the conference really could come down to the last week.
We'll be on a boat. We'll be gambling on the boat.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Might be gambling on that. Who knows?
Yeah.
So. No surprise for me for Boise as well. An owner of Boise State in our fantasy league last year. Everyone was big on Hank Bachmeier, senior, getting a chance to come back. I really had a lot of confidence in him as well as a senior quarterback. But he was, the highest rated quarterback to ever come to Boise State, and then of course had to transfer after 3 games because he basically lost his job. So, but Taylon Green was a freshman from Texas, 6'6", 240 quarterback. This guy reminds me so much. Yeah, well,
back when he was actually good at Memphis.
No, he honestly looks more like Cam Newton.
Okay.
He looks very similar to Cam Newton with those accuracy inconsistencies. So
maybe throwing by like 20 yards.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So and I mean 20 yards high, not 20 yards long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but he's coming back as a sophomore, really talented, and they get a real big core back for them, a 1,200-yard rusher at running back.
That's always huge.
Yeah,
that's always a big.
When you put those two together with the Boise State defense, it's probably going to be in the top 3 or 4 of this conference. You see why Boise State is such a heavy favorite.
Right. Well, and they just continue to recruit their state very well. They continue to bring in some of this. They
recruit Texas really well.
Yeah. They continue to bring in. I mean, because it's not always about the stars.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you get some of these 2- and 3-star guys, you can turn them into 4- or 5-star prospects.
Yeah.
Just from development and character and everything else. So, I mean, I definitely like what they do.
Yeah, so I'm not surprised by that. I think the reason, if you look at for my for my Fresno State people that I want to keep putting San in front of, for my Fresno State, for my Fresno State people that are screaming at the screen, Fresno State's a very good team.
Oh, absolutely.
I think the thing for Fresno State that has them below Boise State in the odds is the quarterback replacement problem, right? Jake Henner's now with the Saints. Everybody talking about him being the next Drew Brees because he's a 6-foot quarterback with a lot of great talent. I mean, the guy was.
You mean Bryce Young?
Yeah. So, but the guy threw 20 touchdowns with 3 interceptions last year. You got to get
solid numbers. Solid numbers.
He had a reason to be in the Heisman for a little bit. So I mean, just the problem is
a small school.
The problem is you have a really talented quarterback you have to replace, right? Like having a quarterback that year was great, but now you have to figure out how to replace this senior leader that ran your offense. So,
right.
But for the difference in those two, really not a whole lot of money difference. So I think the other problem for them is going to be their 1,400-yard rusher with 18 touchdowns is also with Buffalo Bills. So your 2 biggest parts of your offense for Fresno State have to be replaced. Yeah,
right.
So
it's hard to replace that kind of production.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just hard to replace that kind of production.
So we're going to play a little game. I'm going to slide this over to you. We got 12 schools in the Mountain West. I want you to pick a deep sleeper for the conference that is UNLV or below. So none of these top 4 teams that are all pretty heavy odds favorites. Give me the plus 1,200 or more favorites for my gamblers out there that are looking to slide a little money. We played this with the Big 12 video as well.
Yeah,
so if you're looking for bets on betting conference,
I mean, I had Utah State a couple years ago. They had a bad year last year. I think they can bounce back.
Okay.
I think Utah State can bounce back. They had a phenomenal year 2 years ago when they went like 9-3, 10-2. I think they can bounce back and have a pretty decent year.
Yeah, Utah State 6-7 last year, 5-3 in the conference.
I'll take them as a deep sleeper.
Yeah, they struggled out of conference last year, and I think you look at it, probably some unique reasons why. Well, you played BYU, you played Alabama.
You played Alabama week 2.
Yeah. So, your other 3 losses.
So you got a completely healthy Alabama team.
Yeah, really bad loss to Weber State, obviously. That's a rough one.
That's a rough one.
But
yeah, nobody was going to play them against Alabama.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's some reasons playing top 25 teams like BYU and Alabama can be rough for you. But, I mean, you look over this team, obviously. I'm going to take a quick peek at them just to see what they have coming back, maybe to give some hope to these bettors. Junior quarterback Cooper Legas is coming back. They lost their top runner in Calvin Tyler. This guy's headed to the Bengals. So, it's still a little bit of a replacement there. They had a 900-yard receiver. Let's see if Brian Cobb is in the NFL as well.
He's in Arizona.
He is. He's with Arizona. So, yeah, some replacements for Utah State, but I don't hate it.
But you get your quarterback back. So, I mean, that definitely is a big key to that, is to get your quarterback back.
Yeah. My pick here is San Jose State, and
I like them
you
too.
Probably know why. It's a lot of the Hawaii transfers. Chevin Cordero coming back, guy.
Oh, Chevin Cordero, baby.
Yeah, guy that was a 3,500-yard passer last year, 23 touchdowns, 6 picks. So, you got to look at that and say, okay, well, we get a pretty elite quarterback coming back. Let's see if they get their running back here. Robinson.
He's their running back.
He's also back. He's going to be a senior this year.
He was an 800-yard guy last year, but their wide receiver's gone.
Yeah, the elite wide receiver, Elijah Cook, is a 1,000-yard, 10-touchdown guy. He's going to be gone, but, maybe they get their second guy back. Kind of a little hope here. Yeah, second guy's coming back. This is only a sophomore, 6'2", 200 pounds. So
nice little possession type of guy.
Yeah, I like this. I like quarterbacks that are veteran quarterbacks, and so getting a veteran quarterback back, I got a little faith in them. Tough early season schedule with Toledo, Oregon State, and USC. But when you look at the conference play, they're going to have to play Fresno State, but they get them at home. They're going to have
Air
to play
Force,
They're going to
Boise,
have to play Air Force at home. At Boise's going to be rough, yeah. So, but they get. I mean, all their road games are going to be New Mexico and UNLV, 2 of the worst teams in the conference as well. So, and Hawaii, who was also in the worst conference.
Yeah, but the problem with Hawaii is just the time difference.
Well, it'll only be 3 hours there from California.
Well, that's true. That's true.
So,
but you still have to account for it, and then you got to get used to it and everything else. So it's not as bad for them as it would be for us coming from the East Coast to go to Hawaii.
Yeah,
get that 6-hour time difference.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, rolling it back. Deep sleepers. We got San Jose State and Utah State. Are you going to take Boise State to win the conference?
It's hard to put money against them.
Yeah.
It's hard to put money against them. I'm going to have to run with Boise.
Yeah, I mean, just a constant 10-win team for me.
Yeah, I mean, they don't get blown out. The games they lose are good, close games.
Yeah.
So I mean, they stay in pretty much every game they're in.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just hard. It's hard to bet against them.
Yeah, and they were 8-0 in the conference last year, right?
Right.
And obviously, they lost the conference championship game to Fresno State, but I mean, they were 8-0 in the conference, returning a lot of the same people for them. So
right.
Just really hard to look at it.
It's so hard to look
reason
past
why
it,
to say not Boise State. So
right.
But if you're a Fresno State fan, you're an Air Force fan, San Diego State fan, sure, you have your claim to it. There's reasons there. So.
Yeah, I mean, you have solid teams. It's just you're gonna have to knock off. It's just like in the SEC. To get to the top, you got to beat Alabama.
Yeah.
Or now, Alabama and Georgia. You got to beat them. You got to beat one of the two.
Or both.
To get to the top. So, especially in 2024, which we'll probably cover in another video at some point when they're getting rid of the conference or the divisions. But yeah, you're going to have to beat both of them to be at the top now.
Yep.
So, to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Absolutely. So, well, hit us in the comments. Let us know who you think is going to win the Mountain West here in 2023. And as always, we appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe.